Hello and welcome to this gameplay video. Here I'm playing live with a friend, and unfortunately this was played before the card changes that we had last week, but after the new rules changes, so I thought I'd still upload this. Now unfortunately the audio wasn't great. There was an AC running in the background that we didn't realize was there, and so the audio is unfortunately not great, and so you'll just have to listen to me commenting in post. Now I wanted to do this also because I've been watching a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament live streams recently, and I wanted to see how that looks and feels like for the Cyberpunk TCG. And because we will have tournaments for this game as well at some point, and so I just wanted to see how does that feel like, how does that look like. And unfortunately I don't have an overlay yet, but I'm working on getting one ready for the next time, because we'll probably do this again. And yeah, and so let's get into the first game. And I'm of course playing triple yellow. After the rules update, this kind of makes sense, and also Atom Smasher is a card that can work now. For once, because you have to have 7 gig dice, so there is more opportunities for him to be played without losing after, and also you can attack now and play him after the attack. So I'm just trying triple yellow. I think we're playing with 30 to 35 card decks, since there isn't as many revealed yet. Also, yeah, I forgot to spend those 2 legends. Now, I think I started here and I already have Smasher in hand. So my goal is to sell a card each turn. And yeah, selling the Lizzies here. And all right, there's River. By the way, these are still the old cards. I haven't, we recorded this before the rules update on Friday. So these are still the old cards. River still draws a card here. And my goal generally with triple yellow is to reveal a legend and then equip a gear first turn. That helps me with effects like the Maton, if I want to play that second turn, or if I flip a Dum Dum, I still draw the 4 cards. And my opponent, he's playing double blue and yellow, I think. I see the Dying Knight in hand. I think there is a, yeah, also Lizzie, so we have yellow. There's a Placide, an Evelyn, and I think a Delamain. So now with 4, Delamain seems like a good idea. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Now I'm already thinking I have a couple of Matons, couple of faceplates in hand, what I want to do. Still have to get to 3 gig dice before I can use the faceplate. And yeah, drew the Caliber, which is a good second turn play. Probably selling one of those faceplates since he gets to attack first. The chance of getting to 3 gig dice in the earlier turns is probably not that high. Now, one thing I've noticed is that I often default to just taking the lowest gig dice, but I've realized that sometimes just taking the D8 or D10 first can throw some people off guard because they're not used to that, because a lot of people just sell the D4 first, then the D6, and just go from there. Yeah, and there is the Caliber, trying to put some pressure on the board as well. Ending the turn here. If he attacks me, I get to attack back. Of course, I have to be careful because Delamain has more power, so I don't want to lose the Caliber to a attack from him. He rolls a 5. Now, he's actually doing a great job at which dice he's choosing. In some way, it's not as great for him to not roll the d4, because the chance of rolling a 1 is higher, especially if he has something like Reverie. But on the other hand, it prevents something like Gorilla Arms. Because he can steal one of my gigs without running risk of getting hit by a Gorilla Arms turn 3. Caliber, the old one with the 6 power, is pretty good with that as well. So I could steal 3 gigs in 1 turn. Would be pretty massive. Right, but he's going for a Dying Knight. He's taking a risk here, because Cyber Psychosis could hit the Delamain, especially in my next turn. And I already have one in hand, so I'm thinking, all right, I'll probably use that. But he also gets rid of my gear on the river. And right, he's decreasing one of my gigs, putting it to 1, so he probably attacks and steals that one, because then he has a 1. Right. Evelyn Parker spent here. Generally, if you have cards like Evelyn Parker, you don't want to spend the legend you are calling, because you might still want to use the effect, but in this case he has the unit Evelyn, which is probably better in this case. So this is fine. Now he's probably going to attack now. Also the camera, I think something bumped the camera, and so it's not aligned right now. All right, we're just talking about him attacking, just trashing the gear on river, and the power. It has 9 currently, which is more than my Caliber. Just going back and forth on what he's planning to do. Now he's attacking. Yeah, effect of Dying Knight triggers, trashing my gear. And at this moment I realized that I have my deck in the trash slot, because I come from Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the deck is and the deck and graveyard are reversed in their positions. And right, he does not take the 1, which is interesting. I feel like it makes sense if you were playing blue to take the lowest gig dice. Of course, if he has something like a Jackie legend in the new version, that could help, because you have a 2, you can downgrade it to a 1 and then draw a card. All right. Oh, I'm selling the Cyber Psychosis. Do I have another one? Is what I'm wondering. I think there is a second one in my hand. Just counting eddies right now. I have 6. Thinking Maton. Just play Maton dry or use the faceplate. I probably want to attack first before I use the faceplate. I think I start to spend eddies for that, but then I go back and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot I want to attack first. Now in a tournament setting, you're not allowed to do that probably. Like once you declare you're spending eddies, you probably have to go through with that. But since we're just experimenting a bit. Right, some color change in the light as well. Not sure why that happened. Yeah, now I have the 3 gig dice, so I can trigger the faceplate. Just explaining, it's +2, then it dies at the end of turn. Also, I get the effect. Make this a 3 from a 2, and then I have 3 different values, and I draw a card. And I think that's another Cyber Psychosis. So I'm pretty set on whatever he's doing. Now I'm calling a legend. There's Dum Dum. So I'm probably... In the new version, you only get to draw an additional card if you trash a gear, and probably in that case I wouldn't have done it, because the faceplate is a draw 1 card each turn. But in the old version, you get 3 additional cards, and so that definitely makes sense. Now I have 1 more Eddy to spend, and so I just play a Kiroshi, preparing it for a possible Matan next turn. Remember, they have Evelyn on the board, and so there already is a target for him. That was a pretty successful turn. Let's see what he is doing. I think we're sometimes messing up the order, because here he was readying his cards, and then he rolled the die after. He drew, readied, and then rolled a gig die, but you have... the rules say ready your cards, then draw, then roll. So we're sometimes not doing that in the correct order. Yeah, we know. Right, I'm just adjusting his deck so it doesn't look that... I was just thinking... We were also talking about Evelyn, Legend Evelyn, and I think for one of the later games, he changed it for Jackie, because he didn't have enough brain dances for it to really make sense, because the chance wasn't high enough. And with Jackie, he has a higher chance of actually drawing some cards. Now here I think he was playing the Reverie, but then forgot he didn't have the 1. Yeah, at this point I'm just reading Evelyn for a second, and I was like, oh, you're searching, you're not revealing. So, because he was revealing the cards to me as well, and I was like, don't show me, just show the camera next time. But yeah, also the Chrome Reverie, he forgot that he didn't have the 1, and on his gig die, and so he didn't get the legend flip. But I think it doesn't make much difference, because he doesn't have any cards to play in this situation. Now he's attacking, he's stealing a gig die. He's at 6 currently, but I think he also mentioned that he doesn't have enough cards to sell, so getting to proceed for him will be a challenge, and I'm not sure if it works out for him this game. Now I'm turning over the Caliber to show that it can't attack this turn. I feel like that would be the thing to do. At least for me, that makes sense. Show can't attack. Now let's see what I'm doing here. Alright, yeah. Gilded Matan on the board. getting rid of that last unit. Let's see. Now I have 3 left, and I have the one Hanako that I'm playing, I think, in hand. And so I'm debating blocker or Hanako. He doesn't have any units, so Hanako probably makes more sense. Even though I don't have the greatest geek die values. I think I have 1, 3, and... what's that? Is that a 6, I think? Alright, I decided that, yeah, the geek dice values I have aren't great for Hanako, and so it probably doesn't make much sense. So I'm playing Victor, my last legend, and I get a Kiroshi. Now the rest goes to the bottom of the deck, and Kiroshi goes to hand. At this point I have a lot of card advantage, so I feel pretty good. I have board advantage, card advantage, and a finisher. Caliber returns to the ready state where he can attack, and he's drawing a card. Now I'm seeing a flathead in his hand. Let's see. He definitely has some cards he can play, though they're all relatively expensive. So he has to make some choices. I think there is a Delamain, Flathead, and Placide in his hand. He also has the V on board and one more legend that he can flip. Not sure which one it was. I think it was Dum Dum or River. But he hasn't had any luck drawing the small gear cards, because he's also playing a bunch of Kiroshi Optics and Mandibular Upgrades. Ah, there's 2. All right, but they go to the bottom of the deck, so that's kind of unfortunate. And right. Now he again doesn't have a card to sell, so Placide probably won't make it out this game. Also, I'm showing Adam Smasher here. He's my end game. If anything happens, I can still smash him on the field and get rid of the whole board. No, he was talking about Evelyn being one way of getting to some more of the sellable cards, and also the programs for Placide. But yeah. Now I have 7 to sell this turn. I have 1 more card that I can sell, so I'm at 8 eddies. So next turn, a possible Adam Smasher. Yeah, so this turn I think Hanako is the plan, and so I'm attacking first, stealing a couple of gigs with different values. Just looking at the values. There's a 7, a 6, and a 5, and something else. I'm taking the 5, I think, and then I spend 3 for the Hanako. Let's see what I reveal. I think this was a pretty bad reveal, I think. I don't remember. Yeah, the cards all had different values, and so I think I'm taking the Gorilla Arms as a possible finisher as well with the Caliber. Right, nope, faceplate taken. And the old version of Hanako still puts the cards in the trash, not bottom decks them. Now sell the Kuroshi, and I have 5 left. So I'm thinking, what can I do with that? I might be able to keep some of those eddies up, especially River. I have a Mandibular Upgrade in hand, so I could do something like that. Or I play a second Caliber. And my board's pretty stacked. I don't think I lose this at this point. I'm at 7. No, I'm at 6 gig dice. So one more to win. But I think I have this in the bag. And we were just bantering back and forth about Evelyn not hitting twice in a row. And he gets a 1, which might be interesting with a Reverie, but he does not have one. I think he drew a Kuroshi Optics, so a card he can sell. But he's still 1 short of Placide, and he also does not have a program. Now, another really fun thing is that I think I play Smasher next turn, and with 2 Calibers on board, he has to discard at least 2 cards, which doesn't just shut him out of any cards on the board. It also gets rid of all the cards in hand. Right, he's playing. There's 4, 5, so he's going for V. Spending her, readying her to go solo. Now, he has 2 left. Could be another Evelyn and also Legend Flip. There's Dum Dum. So he gets to draw 1 card. Could have actually played the Kuroshi and then flip Dum Dum, now that I think of it. But at this point, we were like, yeah, he's probably not going to win this game. And so we weren't thinking of that. Now let's see. Oh, there's a Brain Dance. No, he didn't show me that he got the after party, but he told me. So I was fine with that. Now he still has the option to attack. He can steal 1 or 2 gigs. I think I throw the Bombus in front of V. Simply because I have Smasher in hand, so losing the Bombus here would not be an issue. We're now talking about the different gig values and what yellow generally likes, and talking about the flathead, possibility of attacking a unit or directly, and so now he's attacking directly with the flathead. I can't block that, so he can just steal 1 gig die. And he's like, I'll probably, let's attack Caliber. And I was going to block with the Bombus anyways, so I don't mind that much. Could have left this attack through, but I wanted to get another attack in with the Caliber. And so now I think this turn is just me going all out, and then I just win with the Atom Smasher. And I'm excited to see how he how often he will be seen in competitive play once set 1 comes out and even after. Now I'm just attacking with everything, taking 1 gig after another. Now Hanako does not attack because she doesn't have any power yet. The newer version has a power of 1, which is really nice. So she doesn't rely on any gear or Saburo. And now I'm playing the big guy and everything goes to the trash. Now, at this point, I think he's just, all right, I just lose. So we don't even finish the game because he can't do anything on his turn. I'm still showing the 2 calibers. I mean, like, I gotta discard. Well, yeah, that was a fun game for me. I think after this, we had a look at his legends and looked at some stuff, and let's go to game 2. Right, for this one, I think he changed some legends around. I think Dum Dum for River, or I'm not sure if he changed Dum Dum, but he definitely changed the put in the Jackie legend for Evelyn, because he had another look at the cards, the possible options, what he can draw with her. And I roll a 20 on the D20, so I definitely get to decide in this case. We actually didn't do best of 3s, but I then think I decided to let him go first because I wanted to have 1 game of going first, one where I went second. So he's spending the left 2 legends. I wasn't sure, but he told me that it makes sense because if you always spend the left 2 legends, there is a less chance of cheating. If that, I think that's just the rules, that you spend the left 2 and not 2 of your choice, which is good and makes sense. Now, let's see what he's doing here. And, yeah. Right. Rolling the D10 again. And there's a 1, which is nice for him. Blue likes low numbers. Now I think I see a Maton in his hand. My hand looks good. I okay the cell. And now that I'm going second, I have 4 eddies. So I can get a legend out and then also have 3 left. So I could play a faceplate or a blocker and then another gear that, like a Kuroshi. Right, going for the legend first. This kind of makes sense here. Lets me see more cards that I could sell. And here I find 1 card. There is a Atom Smasher in there that goes to the bottom. But I'm playing 3, so I should be fine. Alright, selling the card I just showed to not show any more cards in my hand, and then the same thing I always want to do, which is get a cheap gear on board. Now, he's playing double blue, and I think he's taking advantage of this now, but I don't want to spoil anything. Let's see. Now, the Evelyn with 1 power does not get through the blocker. And that's why I played the Bombus. That way I can protect my gig die at least for a turn. Right, there is a cell. Now, double blue, single yellow does not have any great 5-cost cards. There is Maman Brigitte, but she's a late game card at best. And generally using up 2 programs to bottom deck a rival unit is a steep cost, and I would never do that for a Bombus. Now there's a Dum Dum, so he gets to draw a card. Now he spent Dum Dum and then went back because oh wait, that's not a spend effect, that's a call effect. Now unfortunately for him, he only gets to draw 1 card. And if you're playing cards like Plessis, generally you want to have a lot of draw. I'm seeing a Dying Knight in his hand. And a Plessis. There's a Delamain, I think. Now he has 4 left, so a Delamain could be an option. Now he is asking for the gear that I have back there. And so I already suspect him having the Dying Knight. There's not much I can do. And right here he is spending 2. And the Dying Knight is out on the board. Now that's a good Cyber Psychosis target. He doesn't have that many gear cards that he wants to play generally. I think Dying Knight is the only one that really makes sense in most cases. Now he spends 2 more, so he's out of eddies. But a second Evelyn hits the board. Now at this point I'm realizing that I could have waited with the Kuroshi for a turn, but I want to be eddy efficient and use up all the eddies I have. And so I'm still kind of okay. I think I'll let this attack through. No reason to block that. I can get rid of Evelyn in my turn, and then I still have the blocker for the 1-power Evelyn, so she can never attack. I declare no blockers, so he takes the gig die. And so he's at 3, I'm at 0. Now, I'm not sure if I have a faceplate in hand, but there I draw 1, and I'm probably going to sell that because it doesn't help me for now. I think I'm seeing a second one that I already had. Yeah. So one of those is definitely getting sold. Faceplate is a great card if you are going first or if you're on the offensive, but if you are on the back foot and don't have many gig dice, it doesn't do as much because the drawing a card is probably the most important part of the effect. In most cases, like there's situations where you want to change some gig dice around, but in my situation here, that's probably the most important thing. I just play a Caliber and end my turn here. I think I was debating if I wanted to play the Cyber Psychosis, but then I thought I want to have a unit on board. So once I get rid of Evelyn, I have something to attack back. Because if I play the Cyber Psychosis now, I get rid of the Evelyn, but then he's on the attack again by playing a unit before I can. And so I wanted to have something that helps me get some of these gig dice back. Now the Dying Knight is not a bad card here in the sense that I cannot play any gear cards. So even if I had more gig dice, the Zeta Tech faceplate would not make much sense because it would just get removed in the next attack phase. No. Let's see what he's doing. He's spending 3. Chrome Reverie. And he has a 1, so in this case, he's trying to use the tempo advantage that he has to try and close this out before Smasher hits the field. He also gets to call a legend for free, so there is V. Now, it's kind of unfortunate because he wanted to have the Jackie here. And I think I forgot to turn the caliber over. But I'm doing it late. Yeah, there it is. Still resolving the card, and now he has 2 more. I think he can still sell a card. There's another Dying Knight in hand. So he's really set with those. But the Maton doesn't do much. He could play... Let's see what he's doing. Right, he's committing to not selling a card here, I think. And instead he's playing the Dying Knight on V to have even more threat. This is dangerous because he's committing to the early game, the early win. And if he doesn't get that, if the pressure isn't enough to win before I get to stabilize, then he will probably just lose because he doesn't have that many eddies and he doesn't have as many cards. So there is the attack. I'm not going to block that because if I did, my Bombus would die. He would attack with the other Evelyn. By the way, a funny thing you can do with Evelyn is even if the opponent doesn't have any geek dice left, you can still attack with her and steal nothing. But then she is spent. So if the opponent attacks back and tries to steal one of your gigs, you get to draw a card. So it can, in some situations, it can put them in a weird situation because you're already so much in the advantage regarding geek dice. And so they have to attack your dice to not lose. But then you're getting to draw some cards. So that's kind of a dilemma situation. Now here I play the faceplate. And this will probably also be a Cyber Psychosis turn. Starting to get rid of some of those cards. Now there's a Dum Dum. So I'm not triggering the faceplate, I think. Don't care much about the values. Could have changed one of the ones they had to a 2, but I think they have 2, so I don't mind as much. Now there is a cell, and then I have 3 left still. So I'm thinking, now that the faceplate isn't on board, it's not as bad to have it. All right, I'm playing a Kiroshi here. And Cyber Psychosis. All right. So I could have played something else because the Dum Dum got rid of the faceplate, but it makes sense to try and get rid of some stuff. That was the plan. Get Caliber on the board, and then next turn get rid of the Evelyn. Now they have 5 eddies, so they can play V. But I feel a little more comfortable, even though they're at 6 gig dice. So they're almost there. And And so it kind of depends on what they're doing this turn. If they don't have the right cards to put up enough pressure, I think I have this in the bag. Now they could play the Maton still, getting rid of the Bombus. Yeah, I'm just pointing at V and saying, that could be a play. But I only have 1 gig die at the moment, and so I think he said something like he didn't want to go solo with V yet because V could steal 2 gigs, and they wanted to wait 1 more turn, have the extra eddy from her still. Now, I'm not sure if I have a Atom Smasher in hand at this point. But I'm pretty okay at that point because... Alright. And now I'm not as okay because Caliber could still steal 1 gig and prevent them from having 7. But with the blocker out now, that would be much more difficult. Remember, I don't have a Go Solo Legend, and that's why I'm pointing at their gig dice. It's like, you have 6, and I can't even steal 1 now. So if you get my gig die, you win. All right, there is the last legend. There is Jackie. Now, they haven't played a blue card yet this turn, so they could still get something, but I don't think they have anything in hand they can play. Yeah, there is Delamain, Gillet, Maton, and a Placide in their hand, and these are all relatively expensive, so they can only play 1 card per turn. Alright, now let's see what my turn is. I'm counting the eddies. I should have 7 if I sell something. Right, attacking first, see if they block. Here he is thinking if it's worth to block the Caliber, or if he wants to wait for something larger. But he blocks that. Trying to keep all the gigs he has is his priority. Right, let's get out the last legend. There is River Ward, drawing me another card. Now, I think that's one of the great things here, that all the yellow legends have some type of card draw or card advantage between River, Dum Dum, and them drawing cards, and Victor searching for gear that can be sold. That's a pretty good basis to find enough cards to sell to have the 9. And so here's another sold card. Now I'm playing Hanako here and revealing 4 cards. I have a 4 and I think something like a 7 or 8. And I find a card, fortunately. There's some... And that was also my reasoning for attacking first. If they didn't block, I would have taken the 2, which would have made the Hanako a lot better. There's a lot of 2-cost cards in my deck. But Yeah, but they blocked that, so unfortunately I only got one card. Now I end my turn right here. No more attacks, no more cards to be played. I'm kind of waiting for them to play V. I'm relatively comfortable because I can block, and also they only have 6 gig dice, now 7. But there is the Gorilla Hands in hand, Gorilla Arms in hand, which I can play on Hanako. So I'm always going to steal at least 1 gig in my next turn. But I also want to prevent the V from stealing some of my gigs. So I have the Bombas there. I have a Cyber Psychosis up. And also a Mandibular upgrade with River. So I have a lot of options, depending on what he's playing. So at this point, I'm just trying to not lose any gig dice to make sure I don't lose immediately. Right, he is selling. And then question is, does he play Delamain or V this turn? Now here we're just talking about the go solo Jackie interaction. You still get to draw, or you still get Jackie Wells effect if a legend goes solo, because it then is played as a unit, and so it counts. And here he does exactly that with Corporate V. And so V gets to go on the board. I also have a Kuroshi back there, which you can get rid of. So there is some additional value in doing that. Now Jackie Wells triggers. I think there is his D6 has a 5. So he definitely has a value. But there is also a 6 on the D8. So that goes to max. Now the new Jackie Wells goes in the opposite direction, which makes more sense with what blue wants to do. So instead of upping the gig by up to 2 and then drawing if it's a max value gig, he does up to -2. And then if it's a min gig, you draw a card, which is really good if you're playing blue. The Chrome Reverie wants you to have ones. You can also, if you're playing something like blue-yellow, having a Zeta Tech faceplate on Jackie is, or in general, is pretty good, because you can always +1 the gig die. Then if you have 3 of different values, you get to draw 1, and then trigger Jackie and do the -1 again, putting it at 1 and drawing another card. So that's a cool interaction between those two. Now V attacks. The Kuroshi Optics is trashed, and now I think I'm playing Cyber Psychosis and blocking, I think. And here I'm thinking, all right, do I want to spend the River or keep the Mandibular upgrade, but I don't have anything else? All right, they attacked the Caliber. They didn't attack directly, so I didn't have to block, which is good. So now I still have the blocker for the Evelyn. And they discard an Evelyn for the Caliber effect. V dies. Now, I think from what they said, the rules should be that the V is removed from the game, not put into the trash, but here it doesn't matter much. Right, rolling a, what's that, a 9 or a 6? Can't read that. And I have 2 Atom Smashers in hand. So 1 more turn to get him out. Counting my eddies and what I want to do. Now I sold the Gorilla Arms. I'm not sure why. I think I wanted to... I have a second one. All right. Because playing that on Hanako is always the best option here. I have 4 left, but I don't think I have many cards to play, so I just don't. I'm attacking for now. That's Hanako 0 power goes to 4 with the Gorilla Arms, and also if I steal a Gig die, I can also take another one with the same amount of sides, thanks to Gorilla Arms. I think Gorilla also changed, and now it's a Gig die that shows a value that you do not have on your Gig dice. But I'm stealing 2, so I'm at 5 Gig dice now. He's at 5, so I'm relatively comfortable. He still can't attack through the Evelyn, and I got to weather the Go Solo V Storm, so made sure that that didn't lose me the game. Now he has 5 eddies only, and it seems like his gamble didn't pay off. And because he draws a card, I think he said that he didn't have anything to sell. And I think later we look at his deck and there's like all the sellables at the bottom. So he really got unlucky with that, which sometimes happens, you know. And luck can always be a factor, even if you're doing everything right, or at least as best. Make the best decisions you can with what you have. Now, let's see. I think he's playing Delamain, trying to trigger Jackie again. Not sure if he still has a gig die that that can get to max here. But I think he has a D4 that's on a 2 or 3. Now here we're talking about Jackie being better than Evelyn in the way that you don't have to spend him to get his effect, whilst with Evelyn Parker Legend, you have to spend her to search. So you're basically giving up one eddy. Now the newer version, I'm not sure right now what she does, but I think she is different and you don't spend her to search. Right, but he found a card to sell, I think. Did he sell that card in the as a spent card? I think he did. Right, he ends his turn here. No attacks. Doesn't make much sense. And yeah, here I go. I wanted to ready everything first, but I was skipping steps and rolled the geek die first. Now here I'm just reorganizing a bit, counting my eddies, and here I realize I have 8, so this should be a win. And he's also Smasher is coming to the field. He is there in a sec. There is 2 D4s which I take, and then I just spend everything. And at that point, you're like, all right, I think I lose. He still draws a card and sees if he finds anything, but I think there is nothing he can draw at this point because I have 8 geek dice, so he would have to steal 2 this turn, and since V's already gone, that's like the only option for him to really do that. He's just checking his hand. Another for one last time, seeing if he finds anything. Right, selling the mandibular. I think he was counting if he had enough for Placide at least. And there he concedes. And yeah, that's it. Won two games in a row. But in general, I want to know what is your guys' opinion on that. You want to see more like this? I sure love to play the game having the physical cards in hand, and so I'll definitely play more and probably upload more videos like that, especially now that we have the new versions of the cards. Really want to see how they do. But yeah, have you guys already played the game with physical cards or in general? And how do you like the gameplay? Does it feel great? Have you played the new cards? How do you like the new cards? There's a lot of questions I have, guys. Write that stuff in the comments because I'm open to talk about that stuff with you. I'll probably make some videos with the new cards in the next couple of weeks, and especially with reveal season being a thing now. There will be 2 videos this week, and so I hope you guys are excited for that. I wish you guys a great week, and I'll see you around. Choose.